Okay, so last class I was just going through the pipelines. So I was explaining that this is your Azure portal, this is your DevOps portal. Both are the applications. Okay, so your Azure portal. Azure portal is the one where you run your workloads, right? Run your application, or I'll say workload. DevOps portal is the one from where you deploy your workloads. Okay. Both are independent applications. Okay. Both are independent applications. Now, whenever you are deploying something, developing something, you need to deploy into some environment. And since these both applications are they are independent, you need to make a connection between them. Then only you can deploy. Because whatever the services in which you will deploy these workloads, those services are with the Azure portal. So you need a connection. You need to manage a connection here. And that connection will be an automated connection which will be supported by an application ID and a secret. Secret means nothing but just like a password. Okay, so here you need to make a connection. I'll say an automated connection. And this connection is supported by by an application ID and a secret. So you will create an application, you will create a secret, and you will create a service connection over here with the DevOps portal. Service connection. And when you create a service connection, that service connection will make use of these credentials of that particular application, you will be creating in your Entra ID, Microsoft Entra ID. So that this DevOps portal using this application, which is having an application ID and secret, can access the Azure portal and deploy application into Azure portal. Okay. So we were going with those things. So I was showing you the service connection over there. So when you go to the project settings, uh, in the project settings, you have service connection. See, service connection. Now you can create service connection. Now you here service connection, you can make it to different applications I've shown you. You can Azure Classic is the old one. So when there was a portal like Classic portal, it was for like before 2015, 16, 14. So this was there. Then there was no Azure Resource Manager. So we used to make Azure Classic connection. Okay. Then if you are using TFVC, so TFVC is inherited, or you can say implementation of TFS, Team Foundation Server. So you have to make connection from here. Then now we are using this new portal, Azure portal. So here, as this Azure portal is managed by Resource Manager, so what we have to do, we have to create a connection with Azure Resource Manager. Then Bitbucket, if you use Bitbucket tool, then you have to make connection. Then Chef tool, Docker registry, generic GitHub Enterprise server. If you have in your organization, you can make connections. You can make connections with Jenkins, Jira, Kubernetes, Maven, NuGet. Like there are a lot of applications you can make a service connection. So as of now, we just need to make connection to the portal so we can deploy our application. So you will make a connection choosing Azure Resource Manager, and you will go to the next. Here, workload identity federation recommended. Now, this thing, what it will do, it will automatically create a uh, identity or authentication. It will automatically create a service connection. Choosing this one, you can create it manual. You have to create some application on the portal side, and then you can create over here. Service principal automatic. Now, service principal is nothing but an a kind of application only. You will you will go to your Entra ID and you will create that particular application in the Microsoft Entra ID. You will create some application over here in app registration. You will create some application. So that is for service principal manual. Automatic will create an automatic application over there. So if you go with next here, you can give service connection name over here. Okay. So Azure subscription one, that is our subscription. Resource group, wherever you want to see, wherever you want to create. Okay. So if you want, you can create a new resource group and then there you can do it. So like there is a demo RG created over there. Then service connection name. So you can give any name. So demo project connection, something like this you can give. And then any description if you want, you can give. Grant access permission to all pipelines. You can check this. See, in your organization, if you don't want to do this, if you want to just create a service connection for yourself, whatever you are developing in, then don't grant any permission to all the pipelines. Okay. Oh, if it's just for your purpose only. So since here we are learning, so I've granted the connection. Since no other person will be using this. See, a demo project connection is created here. You can see Azure Resource Manager and creator is this member user. Okay, manage service connection roles, manage service connection, service principal. Let's go to my this portal. Okay, let's go to see. This has been created. This is a service principal. So I've logged in with my member user here. Okay, not with this portal, with my member, whatever through which I created my DevOps portal, that user. So if you go to Entra ID here, Microsoft Entra ID. In this, you will go to app registrations. Here in the app registration, you will find that application. This is my service connection, which is created by DevOps portal automatically. But if you want to use your own service connection, you can create an application here manually and you can provide all the details into, you can, while creating a service connection, you can provide the details and you can create a manual service connection over there. Better to create it automatic if you have you can say uh, this owner access to the project. Okay, or ask anyone who is the owner of the project to create a service connection for you. Okay, if you are having a contributor role, you will not be able to create the service connection. So better in your organization, you may ask someone who is the owner of the project to create a connection. In your case, maybe it can be a scrum master, maybe it can be some senior developer or solution architect. Okay. You can ask them to create a service connection for you. They will create for you. But if you will be working as a DevOps engineer, definitely you will be having an owner access to the portal. So you can do anything. Certificates and secrets. See, already one secret is created here. And they have created this service connection. Now, if you go back to your project, go to the pipelines. Now you can create that new pipeline over there. Now, I told you that don't go with YAML at the first time. It will be difficult for you. Go with the classic editor. Okay. So if you choose the classic editor here, Azure Repos Git, since we have our code in the Azure Repos, we'll select this. If your code is in the GitHub, you need to be in the GitHub. But again, you have to create one GitHub connection from their service connection. Okay. You have to create a or authorize with a GitHub personal token. So if you click on this, so in GitHub, you can create a personal token over there. You can use that token from using this option to connect to Git server. Okay. Or you can create a service connection as I created just before. There you will pass this personal access token of the GitHub and you will be connected with some connection name. And for enterprise server, again, you have to give enterprise URL of your GitHub. Okay, enterprise URL. Then subversion SVN. If you are having SVN, then again you have to add a connection. Bitbucket Cloud, if you are using, again you have to use a connection. Others, since some other Git are there, then you have to make a connection. So like this, in your organization, you may find Git, GitHub Enterprise, Subversion, Bitbucket Cloud. So you can make connections accordingly. Ask people in your if you don't have any owner access to the project, you're just a contributor. Maybe in some case, junior DevOps engineer or associate DevOps engineer, they have contributor access. They don't have full owner access. Okay, senior DevOps engineer or DevOps engineer, they may have the access to the project. Okay, that to some specific projects like which are allocated to you. Maybe in your organization there are 12 to 15 projects. So maybe one person is not able to handle all the 15 projects. So some DevOps engineer may be working on some projects. So they will be having owner access on that particular project. So if you have the owner access, definitely you can be able to create a service connection by yourself. So Azure Repos Git, my project is demo project, repository is demo project, main branch.
Which is this connection you are saying that should be created in that settings, right?
Project settings. In the project settings, you have an option of service connection. There you can create. Now here, select a template or start with an empty job. So you can select a template here or you can start with an empty job. Like if you are developing some .NET Core, so you can choose that. Okay, it will give you a nice setup like ASP.NET Core application. It will give you a setup over there. Okay, build and test. So if you choose this, it will give you 4 steps over here. 4 steps like uh, downloading NuGet packages, restoring the packages, then build, restore, test, all those it will be creating for you. If you are building some Java application, then you can use Ant also. If your organization using Ant as a build tool, you can use Ant. If you are developing ASP.NET framework application, you can choose it. Okay. Azure Cloud Service. If you are implementing some functions, you can use functions, Azure Kubernetes Service, Azure Fabric application, Azure Web App. If you are implementing a web app, your code in the web app, then for Java. Yes. If you are using Gradle for building, you can use Gradle. All these things you will find multiple configurations. Okay. So, but if you go with the empty job here, see, now there is a pipeline. Inside the pipeline, you have resources from where your source code will be there. Okay. See what are the options in the Azure Repos Git. Team project is this one. Repository, yours, default main branch. Now, what is this clean? What is this clean? You can perform different kinds of cleaning of the working directory. Whenever you will be developing your code, there will be a working directory somewhere at the back end. And your working directory will be every time it will be building and restoring your code. Okay. So if you want to clean it every time, you can choose true. If you don't want to clean it, you can choose false. Okay. Tag resources as of now, never. Report build status means whenever a build is completed, it will report the build status to you. Okay. Sync resources, don't sync resources. Check out some modules means if you are having some modules like if an application is developed as a microservice architecture, so you have modules and sub modules. So different code bases, you like different projects, different folders. Like hello world is a folder, there you are running hello world means just a front page. Then another folder will be there in your code where you are running the backend, all those things, like different, so you can make use of that. Sync the tags, shallow fetch, depth. I'm not sure what is about depth. I'll let you know this later. Okay. So what are the important things? Main things when you create a pipeline is you should select a like eligible source control which you are having. Then the team project, repository, main branch. That's it. Okay. Now comes to the agent job. Now here you can see agent job. Now display name. You can give any display name to your agent, demo project or any. And from here you can change the name of the pipeline, like demo project CI pipeline, continuous integration. It has already taken from the project, inherited from the project. If you want, you can give your name, whatever you want. As per your organization, you can provide the name. Like you can give a name developing hello project or hello world project, something like this. Okay. Display name you can give, as of now it is agent one only by default. You can give any name. Then agent selection. Now you can see that here in the agent selection you have hosted means already hosted by Azure. So Azure pipelines you can use. As of now we don't have any agent in the private. When we'll be moving to the labs, we'll be seeing how we create an agent and how we can use an agent. As of now, I'll just show you. In with this project, I'll show you Azure pipeline. With next project, what we will be doing in the lab side, whatever is provided by Microsoft, there I'll show how to create a hosted pipeline. Okay. So now agent specification, what agent you want. Now you choose the platform or you choose the, not the platform, you choose the infra. Okay. It is managed by Azure agent pool, Azure pipelines. What do you want? Where you want to run your workload? Mac OS 11, 12, 13, Mac OS latest, Ubuntu, Windows 2019, Windows 2022, Windows latest. You can run your workloads anywhere. Okay. So you can choose here with the agent, what kind of agent you want. Then like here you have any demand, like specify with capabilities the agent must have to run this pipeline. So you can add some things. If you want some capabilities for that agent to have, you can add. Now this totally depends on your organization things. If they have some specific things documented, now things will be documented by the solution architect. Okay, whatever he must be needing for developing the DevOps architecture, you have to follow that as a DevOps engineer. Okay, so whatever is written over there, you have to follow that, like this. So if they have documented the okay agent, we will be needing a self-hosted agent, then you have to create a self-hosted agent for that project. If they mention okay Azure agent will work, then you can choose directly Azure agent. You don't have to worry about. Now creating a self-hosted agent is alone itself a 10 to 11 steps process. That's why I told you I'll show it with the next project. Okay. So demands, then execution plan, parallelism. What is parallelism? I told you. Now, as soon as I will check in the code, this demo project pipeline will run. But since we have not opted for any parallelism, parallelism means parallelly two pipelines will be running for two users. Same pipeline will be running for two users parallelly. That is parallelism. That is chargeable. Okay, that is chargeable. Since we haven't opted for that, now when I say parallelism means say Vamsi pushed in some code and this demo project CI pipeline starts running. Okay, now if Rajiv push some code at the same time after 2 minutes since the pipeline was running, so what will happen? Rajiv, that request will be queued since we don't have a parallelism available. Okay, so for parallelism to opt, say your organization approves parallelism. Okay, you can go with the parallelism. How to request that parallelism? So there is a link to request that parallelism. Okay, given at the top only when I was explaining. So this is the parallelism request. So there is a form you have to fill in with Microsoft. This is the link to request the parallelism. Okay, so you can go here, you can paste on that link, and from here you can put the parallelism request. It will be considered in 2-3 business days. You can give your name, your email address of your organization. What is the name of Azure DevOps organization? You can give here. Are you requesting a parallelism increase for public or private project? You can give it private project. You can submit it. After 2-3 business days, a parallelism request will be approved from the Microsoft side. And then whenever two persons will push the code at the same time, then two pipelines will be running parallelly at the same time. So that is a parallelism request. Got it? So if anyone asks about the parallelism, don't be confused. Okay, there's a link to activate it. You can give them the answer. Okay. uh, Timeout. So you can give timeout if you want that pipeline should be completed in 60 minutes. So you can give a 60-minute timeout, 60 minutes. Okay, you can see here. Specify the maximum time in minutes a deployment is allowed to execute. Okay, so in 60 minutes, if the pipeline doesn't completes, it will be automatically failed. Okay, so timeout you can give. If you don't want, you can give it 0. So apart from 0, you can give 1 minute, 2 minute, all those things. Let's do it 60 minutes. Okay. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So timeout 60 minutes. Job cancel timeout. So if particular job is taking some more time, you can set a time limit for that particular job. So you can set it 20 minutes or 30 minutes for a particular job. So it will be timed out in those 30 minutes. If that is not completed in 30 minutes, it will be timed out. Okay. Dependencies. So if there are any dependencies, so as of now, there are none. We didn't create it or download any kind of dependencies. So it will not show that as of now. Okay. With the agent job. Then additional script, allow script to access the OAuth token. So if you have kept some script so that it should access an OAuth token from somewhere, authentication token, then you can allow the script, that particular script. Now, once you allow that script, you have to give that wherever that script is. Okay, wherever you have kept that script. So this you can allow if there's a setup in your organization that you should keep the authentication tokens in the key vault and all those things. Okay. Then once this is done, you will add a job. As of I'll be explaining these things also. Don't worry. Okay. So in the agent job, what you will do? So first thing, we created a pipeline. Then we get our resources. Our,
ده اهم كل شيء. ده اهم كل شيء.
pardon. Okay, no worries. So in the agent job, you will create a job. So once you click in, like what we are doing, I told you in the last class that we were like how we were building the code, how we were building our code. So like here we developed some application like this using these things, using these commands with our console. So as you are doing it here, similarly, you will be doing it in the portal, but that will be an automatic thing. So if I talk about so if I talk about like after the agent, we selected the agent in the agent, then you can have two things like YAML based pipeline, GUI based. We are working with the classic editor. Then very first thing, if I compare, like see .NET code you have in your Azure repos. So don't worry about the code here till this. You have to create the application manually. After that, what you did, you move means you will skip these steps in the Azure pipelines. What you will do, you will build, run, publish, test, and publish. All these things you will. So these things you will be doing over there. Okay. So .NET build. Okay. Then .NET build. So here we have chosen this configuration rails. Okay. Now we are doing this .NET build. Whatever step we did, this one, .NET build configuration release over here, this one. So we were building our code. Now here we will building our code with this command. Now, whenever we will be building here with the pipelines, with the configuration. Now, why they have given like this? Because you cannot give it in the pipeline. You have to define as a variable. So that's why they have taken this variable, variable, $build configuration. And we will be giving variable in the pipeline. Okay. Say we have given $build configuration and that $build configuration value is release. Okay. So we'll be giving it as a variable over here in the pipeline. Similar way, if we doing the .NET test, then we'll be giving build configuration, release, all these things. Okay. Now .NET publish. So there what we did, we published our artifacts into some folder, publish folder. So there we were using .NET publish configuration release. Output, we were giving some folder. Now here what we will doing, .NET publish. So don't be confused. I'm showing you parallelly. Whatever the steps you did here while developing the application at that time, like .NET restore, build, run, publish, all those things. Okay. Same things you are doing with the pipeline. Means same commands will be executed in the form of task. Okay. So if I show you here, so whatever the first task, I added this .NET core task. Okay. Then I again added one more task. I again added one more task. I'll be needing 3 tasks for just for now. Okay. So in the very first task, what I'm showing you, that we have the code in our repository. What we have to do? What we have to do? We have to build it. Okay. So very first thing is build. So .NET build configuration release. Now if I choose here, see .NET build. Okay. Command is build. Path to project. Okay. And then now this path to project, from where it will take from the repo only. Okay. and some advanced option, that working directory. What is the working directory? So when it has been asked about the working directory, then working directory is like this, where it will go like. Now when we work in our local, our working directories are our local folders, right? But when we are working with the pipeline, since we are using Azure Pipeline Agent, then this working directory is a like a virtual directory. Okay, so we will be taking it as a variable. Now this build artifact staging directory, okay, or any kind of directory, build artifact directory, all these are the directories which are defined by you can say Azure itself. Now Azure itself defines some working directories. You will be finding that in the Microsoft documentation, that by default artifact staging directory for you can say Azure is c.agent work 1 hyphen a. Like this is the default artifact staging directory for you can say Azure DevOps. Okay, so whenever you will be doing publish and all, so in your local it was going to your folder where you are mentioning, but in general when you will be running some pipeline, it will be going here. Okay, so let's see this. You can give .NET build. You can give the configuration as build, path to project here. So where is your project? You can give that path. Okay. So like this, the path of the CS project to use, you can use wildcards. Example, this double star, then star and dot CS project. Now you know that your project is inside Azure repos now. Your project is inside Azure repos. But when you were building over there, when you were building over here, where was that project? Where was that project? So you have given that folder. Where was that project? Like hello world.cs project. This was your file. Now, may your application will be with any word, but this CS project will be only this CS project file. Maybe you can give hello world app, hello world app 1, hello world app 2, whatever it is in your repo. Okay. So what we'll be doing, and it will be inside some hello world folder. So you can give wild characters over there, like how it is mentioned. So path to project, you can give it like whatever is given here, like double star, wildcard for the folder, and then wildcard for the name, like this you can give. Okay, so you'll give it like this, and then this, and then dot whatever is CS proj. Okay, if you go to your repos, if you go to your repos, create a duplicate one. If you go to your repos in the files, if you go into the repos, there is a hello world app, that is a folder. Inside that you have a file called hello world.cs project. So for this we have given a while collector. For this we have given a while character over there in the pipeline section, like this. CS project, like let's check the spelling. CS project. Okay, that's it. Okay, so we are building from here with this project, and then argument. Now what are argument? Argument to the selected command. For example, build configuration, output folder, runtime. The arguments dependent on the command. So here we have seen different arguments when we were developing, right? These are the arguments. Configuration release. These are the arguments. Output, where you want the output. These are the arguments. So you have to give it in the Azure DevOps pipeline. Okay. So like configuration, for configuration release, configuration build, like .NET build, whatever you will give it configuration release. But how you will give? So you will give it like this, .NET build, and like this, configuration, build configuration. So in the argument section, like this, configuration, build configuration. Now, what is this $build configuration? So this is a variable. Now, whenever you go to the variable section, you can see all the variables over here. So you can add a variable over here. You can add a variable over here. You can add a variable and you can give the value. Now, in the .NET build, you have the variable as this one, right? So you can go in the variable section, you can add the variable. You can add like this. You can give the value. What is the value over there? Release. Then go back to the task like this. So in the arguments. So configuration, release. Working directory. What is the working directory? Current working directory where the script is run. Empty is the root of the repo build. Or if you keep it empty, so it will be the root of the repo or artifact release. So $system.default working directory, the project search pattern is not related to the working directory. So here in the working directory, so you can give it like this, default working directory. Or if it is a current working directory, you can leave it blank. It will take from the root. So you can put it like this as well. Okay, default working directory. Builds are default working directory. No. Okay. You can leave it blank also. Okay. Don't worry. If that is the current directory you are working with, then you can leave it blank. So in our case also, it is a current directory only. Okay. If you click on this CS project, then there are control options. So in the control options, you can control like settings of your pipeline, like continue on error. So if you click on this, if any error will occur with some step, then also it will continue. Number of risk if task failed. Number of retries, number of retries if task failed. So if any task failed, if you want to retry it, then you can give the number of retries, 1, 2, whatever retry. You can also give the timeout. Okay. So enabled means if you disable it, then the step will be disabled. You can disable it like this also. Disable task. You want to enable it, you can enable. Okay. Continue with error. If there is any error with the task, it will continue with that. Run this task only when all previous tasks have succeeded. So you will be running this task only when the previous task has succeeded. You can give other things also. Custom conditions only when a previous task has failed, even if the previous task has failed, even if the build was cancelled, even if a previous task has failed unless the build was cancelled. But we'll select only when all tasks have succeeded like this. Or you can give only when a previous task has this one only. You whenever all the tasks are succeeded, you will give this one. Okay, so this one. Then output variables. If there are some output variables, like with this build one, we don't have any output variable. Output variable we were having with the publish folder. Okay, so you can give that output variable over there. Okay, as of now we don't have, so we'll not giving any output variable. So this is the first one, like building. What else you have after building? So we were having here .NET Restore, .NET Build, then .NET Run. Okay, after build you have run. Okay. Build. You can also test. I'll show you test how to test it. Okay. So test is one store, but before I think we have to shift this task above, since we have to restore also. After restore, we'll be building and then we'll be running. Okay. So we'll get one more task, that is restore over here. The task will be named as a restore. Now path to project, same path, what you have taken it here. So you can copy like this. Okay. Same path will be there. Argument, same thing. Now, if you want to use any feeds, you can select here. So for restoring, you need some packages, like Azure Artifact Feed. Use packages from Azure, or already use packages from NuGet Door. It is already checked. Means whatever the packages will be from the NuGet, which will be supporting your code .NET in the .NET framework, those will be automatically downloaded from the NuGet. Okay, so that's why use packages from NuGet. Or if you have your own, you can give that feed. You can select it from here, like in which project you have your feeds. Feeds means nothing but the artifact. Okay, so feeds mean nothing but the artifacts, where all the artifacts of Azure are stored. So you are having your own artifacts, you can copy it from here. Okay, if you don't have, you can use this, use packages from NuGet. Okay, then advanced option, disable local cache. You can choose this if you want, so it will disable your local cache. Then destination directory, if any destination directory. Verbosity, okay, minimum, normal, detailed, diagnostic, means whenever a run will be there, a pipeline run, that event will occur. So you want minimum details out of it, or normal, or most detailed, or it will be a diagnostic, like this you can choose. So here, like already it has chosen as a detailed. Okay, control options, same control options, whatever over there, and output variables, same. So that is a .NET Restore. Then comes the .NET Build. Sorry, build is there. Actually, the same task we are using, but the commands are different. Here we will be moving this restore at first place, then the build, and then the last one. What will be the last one? Run, right? So restore, build, and run. Path to project, same. So here, see, .NET Run configuration release. Okay. So as of now, we are not, say you are publishing or anything. So if you want to publish, you can publish it as well. Okay. For that, you have another task to publish. So if you want to run, you can use .NET Run. Again, the configuration release, same thing. So in the run section also, part to project, you can copy from the build CS project, .NET Run. This is the path. Argument, you can give this argument over here. I think for this, there is no argument maybe needed for this, for restore. For build and run, the argument will be needed. Then in the advanced section, working directory, you can take it from here. Control options, you can choose. Number of retries, 0. Timeout, you can give it here. Timeout is 10 minutes. No, 20 minutes you can give. Okay. Here also you can give some timeout if you want. In the control options, you can give here also 20 minutes. So restore, build and run. So it will restore, it will build and it will run. And then if you want to publish your artifact, whatever the artifacts are produced after the run, then you will create a new task and that will be publish pipeline artifact. That is the one you will be needing, publish pipeline artifact. So publish pipeline artifact, you can keep it name any name you want, file or directory path. Okay, so pipeline workspace, it will be artifact name, you can give any name like drop. Okay, artifact publish location, Azure pipeline. Custom properties, if you want to give, enter custom properties to associate with the artifact. Okay, valid JSON string or anything. If you want to give any, you can give those things. Now so .NET publish. Okay, before that, before this task, there is one more task that will be, sorry, there will be one more task here, and that will be publish. Okay, .NET publish web projects arguments. So here in the arguments, you have to give this now. .NET publish configuration, build configuration, and in the output you have to give this one. Okay, so here you want to give like this, build configuration, advanced working directory, you can give the same as here. Control options, you can again give some timeout over here. And now in the output variables, you have to give the reference like so, like this one. And we don't have to define build artifact staging directory. It has already been defined by the Microsoft. So if you go and search for this in the Microsoft documentation, it will show you. Predefined variables, these are, you can say predefined variables from the Microsoft. You don't have to define inside the pipeline. So build artifact staging directory is a predefined variable. There is a list of predefined variables. Okay, agent variables, DevOps services. So these are the ones. These are which are predefined. You can use it as it is with the task. You don't have to define these into the pipeline. Apart from that, whatever you will use, that you need to define, like build configuration. So you need to define inside the variables over here like this. Apart from that, you will not define anything. Then in the variables, we have seen triggers, enable continuous integration, that I'll show you after this once we create a successful pipeline. Then there are other options like build properties. You can give build number format. So you can give the number formatting over here, like build numbers. After one, there will be build number 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. You can give the build formatting. Okay. The new build request is processing enabled. Queue and start builds whenever eligible agent is available. Paused, queue new builds but do not start. Disabled, do not queue the builds. So whenever someone will push, this option will not start any build, or do not queue also. This will queue but do not start the build. And enabled option means queue and start the build whenever eligible agent is available. Automatically link new work in the build. As of now it is disabled. You can link any kind of work with this build. Create work item on failure. So if there is any failure, if you have to create a work item for that failure, you can create. Then status badge, image URL. So URL of this pipeline. Okay. So if you want to, if you want someone, so someone should directly come and he wants to see the pipeline, some senior person, you can directly copy the URL and you can give it to him. So once you click on this, he will be directly coming to the pipeline. Okay. Since in an organization there can be number of pipelines, okay, there can be more than 100 pipelines. So it will be difficult for a person to search your pipeline if he wants to see pipeline. If any person wants to see pipeline, you directly give the link of that pipeline. Then build job authorization scope is the current project. Build job timeout we defined 60 minutes. Build job cancel timeout 5 minutes. Okay. Then any demands with the agent, if you have, you can give the demands. History.
What is the demand?
Demand means if with the agent we have any specific demands, like demand. Okay. I need to check this one as well, this option as well, because I don't remember as of now. Okay, what
Okay.
kind of demands we can do? I'll tell you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Never used, or you can say maybe very less used demands and all. Okay. So options and then history. As of now, there is no history. Go back to your pipeline. Okay. What happened? Okay. Okay, let's delete this. Now two options, you can save and queue. Save and queue will save and run the pipeline as well. While just saving will save the pipeline. So if you save it, you can give the folder. If you want to create any folder under this, you have to save. Then you can create that folder and you can save it. Otherwise, it will be saved in the root folder only. Slash means root. Okay. So if you create any project folder like demo project, okay, so it will be saved inside that folder. Save it. Okay. So for output, don't give it in the reference name. It is the work. It will be the working directory. Okay. So since we are publishing the artifact, the working directory for artifact will be artifact staging directory, not in the output variables. Okay. That is here at every place we have given the as a default working directory. But in the publish, you will be giving default working directory as an artifact staging directory, since we will be publishing the artifacts.
Do we need to define that variable, Abhishek? Like the build?
Artifact staging directory, you don't have to define, since it is a predefined variable from the Microsoft itself.
Okay.
Okay. So you have to define only one thing, that will be like whatever
Build
you will be
configuration.
giving in the argument, that is build configuration. Now, whatever build configuration you want, is it debug you want, or you want a release? So in the
Okay.
build configuration, we want release. So we have defined it here. Yeah. See, build configuration is release.
Okay.
So now pipeline is saved. You can run this pipeline. Queue. Okay. Once you queue this, so Azure Pipeline Agent, now you can see the queuing options. Agent pool, Azure Pipelines, agent specification, Windows 2019, branch tag from where it will run. Either you can give a branch, either you can give a tag. Okay. So main branch, advanced options like variables, whatever variables. Now, sometimes in the advanced option, you can give, so you can attach this pipeline through a token. Means whenever you will pass on that token, then only the pipeline will run. So in that particular option, you can again define a variable here. Okay. Demands, if there are any demands, you can add demands for this run. Okay, I'll show you this. Enable diagnostic, enable system diagnostic. If you want to enable system diagnostic, what is this system diagnostic? What it will do? If you enable system diagnostic, it will create a storage account for you, and there it will be deploying all the pipeline logs. So if you want, you can enable it. Say if you are troubleshooting some pipeline, okay, and if you want those logs to be stored somewhere with some storage account, then you can enable system diagnostic. Otherwise, don't enable it. It will just consume your space, and a storage account will be charged. Okay. So if you queue this, now your agent job is queued. See, this is the agent job. What is the error? Hosted parallelism has been purchased or granted the request of free parallelism grant. We are not running any parallel pipeline. Single pipeline we are running. Okay, wait. Let's go to pipeline.
Can you edit, right? The parallelism.
Pardon?
You can edit the parallelism, right? Go to that pipeline. That is has to be removed, right? That single pipeline only very different, right?
Yes. Just a second. Let me delete this one as well. Then name of the pipeline demo project. Okay, parallelism we selected none only. Parallelism request is none.
Windows latest, right?
No, some other issue in the settings, I think. Windows latest. Oh, agent is there.
I think need to create the self-hosted agent. I think this pipeline Windows, right?
See, on the Azure pipelines, one free Microsoft hosted agent, CI/CD. One is free.
Yeah,
One self-hosted agent is free.
free.
Okay. Microsoft hosted, we have 1800 minutes for free. So we are going with Microsoft agent only. Parallel jobs. Okay. Microsoft hosted parallel jobs 0. Okay.
One parallel job here. View in self-hosted, one
That is in
parallel.
self-hosted, you can run parallel job, one parallel job. But Microsoft hosted, you can run 0 parallel jobs. Only single pipeline will run in the Microsoft hosted.
You need to raise parallelism request, right?
No, actually parallelism request when we want it another one. Okay, one means already one is running and then one will be running as a parallel. Here 0 means no parallel pipelines will run, but at least whatever the default pipeline is there, that will run. Others will be queuing after that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the error we receive?
Error is like while running, it is asking for enabling us a parallel request, but it is given that in the pricing overview that you can run one Microsoft self-hosted agent,
Hmm.
okay, at least. So one is free for 1800 million. We have only one. I don't know if we created that YAML one earlier for that purpose. It has asked to create a parallel request. I don't know, but right now I deleted that.
We have temporarily disabled the free grant of parallel job for public project and for certain projects in the organization. So can we disable that parallel job? So temporarily,
Where?
um, the agent code. The parallel job can be disabled.
It is not enabled only. You have see for enabling a parallel job, you have to put a request through this link. Then only
Yeah.
it will be enabled. Okay, without that, it will not be enabled. So no parallel job enabled as of now. Without parallel job only, you can manage and test. They cost $15 for per parallel job to start with. Okay. Okay, now no worries. I'll troubleshoot it now. After the class, I'll show you this then next class. Okay. If there is an issue, maybe there is some issue with the settings only. I don't know. I need to check that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So
Next class will be on.
this is only the last thing. This pipeline. Once this is done, we'll see only the artifacts thing. But this is nothing. Just it is a storage only for the artifacts. That's it. So here nothing to learn about that so much. And then there are labs, 9 labs. We'll be starting with the labs. We'll be going through all these same things like boards and all. Everything is same, but that with a different project. Okay, which is provided by Microsoft. Okay, as of now, I was just giving it with my own project like we developed in our local, because I have to explain each and everything, every aspect of the pipeline, the repos, what are the options, what options you can go with, all these things I was just explaining. But uh, moving on with the next class, what we'll be doing if we are going with that labs. So there I won't be explaining any like whole like boards. I'll not be explaining because since everything is clear on the board side. In repos, I'll be explaining one thing I know, where we were doing the merge conflict with the portal. So how to resolve it? That is the one thing I need to tell. Second thing, so this I'll tell you in next class only, why it is the issue with this parallel request and all. Okay, these two things. Anything else which we have not discussed earlier that we'll be seeing. Otherwise, we'll be running the labs only. Okay.
Okay, sir. Next class will be on Wednesdays.
Wednesday as of now. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Muad, you have some issue. You can share if you want. Everyone is
Yeah, can I share? Can I share?
Yeah, you can share the screen and yes.
Okay, 1 second.
If others did not start it, then they can start also, like creating a project and all. You were facing some issues with the Git, right?
Yeah, you know what? Like on the portal, there's like I log in to different directory. It's kind of messed up. I think I messed up with the organizations, but
Don't set up the credentials going inside. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Demo project you create. You are running in your local, right?
I think so. Yeah. Same problem. My computer is really, really slow. I don't know why. So, 1 second.
Just copy the location from your project folder, wherever it is. Just copy that location and
Okay.
yeah.
1 second. Is that the one? This one?
No, no, no. So what is the issue? What are you stuck with?
Like when I put this one, go to push it.
Push it to
Just,
the report repo.
comes pop
And
up
it is
with that.
asking for credentials.
Yeah.
Okay.
What should I go
Can
exactly?
you run this project, this remote add origin? Enter. Run that.
Yeah.
Okay. It is it. Now you can run that command. Git push. Git push. Git push -u. This one.
My laptop is very, very slow.
You are running a Linux machine.
No, Windows. Linux, I have it on my other laptop.
If your machine is slow, you can do one thing. You can create for your practicing purpose, you can create a machine in Azure.
Mm-hmm.
Create a machine in Azure, practice
Okay.
1 hour, 1.5 hours, and then stop it. It will not charge you. Okay, it will charge only very minimal amount for 1 hour, 1.5 hours. So
Like do all those things.
create a good configuration machine in your Azure. Okay, Azure portal. Use it for this purpose.
Mhm.
Just everything over there. And whenever your work is done, please stop it.
Okay.
That will help you. Otherwise, seems like your laptop is slow.
Yeah, I think the RAM, I think probably.
Yes. So run all these things over there.
Okay, I'll try. And one more thing, the credential, when you go on this credential, you have to add it, right?
No, you will not be adding it manually in the Git credentials. It will automatically be added. Once you will run this command,
I think I canceled it by mistake.
did you created 2 organizations over there?
Yeah, I did.
Delete one organization which is not needed. Delete that one.
Which one?
No, not the project. Organization. How many organizations? Okay, 2.
Oh, this one, yeah.
Delete this one. Delete. I think 77 one you have in your local, right? You added that one.
Yeah.
So delete the new one. Whatever the organization is just with your
Okay.
name, delete that one. Keep that 77 with you.
When I log in, the other, not the Gmail, the other one, the extension one. It shows me 3 organizations, but when I click any of them, it just says error message on it.
Don't go to
Like
the
not found.
organization, wherever all the organizations you are seeing, go to organization settings. Go to organization settings. Go over there.
Sorry, I have to make you wait. Okay, go down.
Scroll down. Scroll down.
And my so delete organization.
On the left hand side, you will be finding it. On the left hand side, scroll down. Delete organization. Delete this one. Keep it one you will be working with. Okay, delete this one.
So here, delete.
Click on delete. Give the name, copy the name and paste it in the box. Now there is only
So when I
organization
restart
left.
the computer, it goes fast, but that's
Now once this is deleted, later on just try to push it. It will get authenticated.
very slow.
Now it will work for you. Okay.
It'll work.
Yeah, it will work for you now.
Okay, but I don't have to go